Hey, we're going to see if this is working. DJI Action 5 Pro, not the Pocket 3. This is our pre-game show, waiting for the notifications, and we're going to see. Wow, these are my Gatsby. There you go. Yes, sir. My Gatsby cooling wipes, and they keep mosquitoes away. So let's see what we got here. Everybody, MJ here. Looks to me like everything's running because we have a live stream, and get off of that screen. We have a live stream. Oh yeah, everything's working. I just want to get out of here and get over to YouTube. There we go. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. Very good. Excellent. Okay, finally. Wow. It took me a while. Yeah, I'm going to lower this down just a hair. And let me stop this because I don't need this. Oh, you know what? I knew I forgot something. It connected. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I knew I forgot something. It was the mic 3. Okay, now we're cooking. All right, hi everybody. MJ here. I got my little fan I bought in Tokyo, actually. Really nice. Then I came back to Taiwan and found that a lot of those fans had been imported here, and I had not seen them up to this point. So yeah, we are on the DJI Action 5 Pro, which is it's like a year old, I guess. It's an action camera by DJI. It's known for its hey Mike, how's it going? Yeah, you're number one in here. Thanks. Fist bump. It's known for low light capability and really good stabilization. The stabe on this thing is out of this world. So I did some trike riding today. Oh gosh, trying to pop this bag open. I'm either getting weak or this bag was a monster. And I'll tell you what, I'm not getting weak. I did some trike riding today, and I'm planning a ride for tomorrow. Hopefully nothing will interfere with it, but I'm gonna get up early tomorrow morning, pack everything up. Everything's tested. I don't have all of my lights working though, because I need a new battery pack for the front light. Ordered a monster battery pack though. Kirin Ichiban. One of the best beers in the world, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna do like, I'm gonna be doing, oh it is. Hey Rob, fist bump. It's, I can't turn it around because it's not the Pocket 3. I can go like this though. But it's a street, you know, just a street shot. And yeah, looks like that. Good old Jarjar store. I'll come back over here. Stabe is supposed to be pretty good even when live streaming, so we'll see for sure. But anyway, I'm going to be off-road most of the time. You know, when I'm on road, I always like to run my lights. By the way, how's the audio? The audio should be great. It's the mic 2 like I use with the Pocket 3. Everything seems almost the same as far as live streaming. It's just, it doesn't have the articulated head. They put a new LED street light up here. This place used to be a lot darker, and it's considerably lighter, which means there's no rats skulking around and stuff, so I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, now the battery pack is 12, and unloaded, it probably goes up to like 14.8. The horn on the front, I have a police style horn. One of those annoying ones that goes, eh, you know what I'm talking about? That runs on 12 volts, but it has a 9-volt battery pack, and it's loud, really loud. Got it mostly for dogs and for people who don't see. Audio is momentary cutouts and clicks. I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's my voice. Ha. Come on. Let's see if I can hear this. I wonder what that is. Yeah, but it's good. It's my voice. Ha. I have noise reduction on. I don't know if I can touch this screen and have it come back. Oh, I guess I can. Can I go in here and can I make this adjustment? I don't think I can make any adjustments when I'm, nope, not really. Never, okay. 15 seconds, oh, I see, that's the, oh, never mind. Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be. I also have my fan blowing up here. Sometimes the noise reduction does some odd things, and I do have noise reduction on. I believe I can turn noise reduction off if I do this. Yeah, you can let me know. I think that's noise reduction off, so the background should come up. And if that might be the case, you know what I mean. As good as their algorithm is, it does weird things sometimes. I've been talking in circles. So tomorrow I'm getting the trike out, but I'm doing some trail riding down where I was a couple nights ago when I filmed the moon, and Thursday night, and I'm going to try to get some exercise type content for my new channel. So I'm doing. But you know, Rob over here, we got mosquito problems. And Rob and I were talking about this tonight. He's the one that put me on to the Paradise Fish mosquito control solution. Really amazing. And the deal is with what can I do about this? With the Paradise Fish in these pots, I got one in the backyard and one in the front next to the door. I haven't had a mosquito invade my house since I put them out there about 2 weeks ago. So don't use Lion. Use Life Pro. The discharge profile is a lot better, and you get a lot more life out of them. But if you can. Okay, so background is up, dropout's still happening, might be Bluetooth, maybe it is. All right, let me do this. I'll put that back on. So these fish, I got them like, this is the third week. And when I got them, they were so young you couldn't even tell males from females. But now, got these beautiful big males. They're changing color when they're chasing other males. And they got these big, flowy, fins in the back and big tails. And one of them has built a bubble nest. There's no question about it. I was looking at it today. It's not rotting vegetation and swamp gas. One of those male fish built a bubble nest, and if he has actually enticed a female to mate, then there are fertilized eggs in that bubble nest. And it's so amazing that all this happened just so quickly. But what it means is really, I mean, I was meticulous in my planning and how I, execute and acquired this stuff. And of course, I drove Rob nuts, asking him a million questions. The thing is, though, I got plenty of vegetation, and I got some media, for the natural biofilter effect that happens. And so, evidently, the environment was just so good for them that they immediately went into reproduction mode, which is good. It's a good sign. It's just like people, they buy a house, like, okay, now we can have kids. Exactly what happened. So, but Mike, what kind of a trike do you have? I was thinking you had the Hellbent. Don't remember. There's one called, what's that one years ago I heard about, called Green something? I mean, I used to read about these things and just drool over them, These recumbent trikes are just so amazing looking. High-tech piece of machinery, sitting back like on a lounge chair, your feet out front. Get in the zone, logging in some serious distance. And they were always just too expensive. I know the owner of the Hellbent, gosh, this is going back. I mean, I haven't been active on Bent Rider online since like 2010, but I forgot all these guys, their names and stuff. But the guy who invented it or designed the Hellbent put the plans in a while for everybody. So if you've got fabrication skills, you can make your own. It's amazing. Huh. Oh, this is a good. For those who can't read this, it says, "Lol, no, you didn't drive me nuts. I'm a paradise fish evangelist." There you go. When it comes to mosquito suppression here in this part of the world, and Rob and I love this stuff. We love this kind of culture, and especially lost culture. It's why we're doing Map Freaks, which we've been talking about this for a long time. We got to get busy on some stuff here on the channel. But the truth is, this is a cultural thing. And if you look at Wikipedia and you look at paradise fish in Wikipedia, it talks about the fact that in Taiwan, there's been an increase in mosquito-borne disease because of the reduction in native population of paradise fish. And when I was reading that, I was like, wow, you got to be kidding me. So, oh yeah, the scorpion. 19 years old, 2006. Yeah, see, mine's 2008, so yeah. Oh, that HP Velotechnic, the Scorpion. I remember that is a heck of a machine. Yeah. But if I was going to buy a recumbent trike today, I don't know what I'd get. I was telling Rob, George Chen still has Performer. Look, I'm getting out my battery charger for the fan. Still has Performer, but he was a partner with Kevin Gao and T.W. Bentz, and then they went separate ways because George always did have his own company called Performer. He just has a little bit different approach. And George took me into the factory and showed me how he was gluing carbon fiber frames. I mean, that's just amazing stuff. These guys are so nice to me. I held a Q&A session basically with Bent Rider online forum. I told them I was going to go visit these guys, and they, Fei, Hao Jiu Bu Jian, how are you? Fist bump, want to give you a hug. Wow, Fei. Fei's my biggest fan, and I always tell this story, thank you, about how I got a follow on Twitter once. This is like, gosh, this is 10 years ago anyway. I got this follow on Twitter, and I like to see, because I don't have that many followers, to see who's following me, and I clicked on her profile, and I was the only person she followed. I'm like, What is going on here? This is crazy. How you doing? Good to hear from you. Yeah, I'm doing good. Everything's okay. I put on more weight. I'm getting ticked off. But hey, I'm going to be 70, you know, pretty soon. But so I started another YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing exercise stuff, and I'm on my way to getting jacked. Yes, it's been that long because it's 2015, and I started periscoping in 2015. Well, see this? I'm eating Cheetos tonight. I usually don't eat Cheetos on camera because after this, I ain't eating them no more. Beer too. Guy in an electric scooter. Lights off to save battery. I'm same age as your dad. Yep. Still young. Yeah. Well, it's just, you know, just a number they say. But I will say this. I have run out of a number of the supplements that I take. And it's hit me pretty hard. So I gotta re-up most of my supplements and get back into them. And I want to talk about that, you know, with some new videos. But anyway, I have gotten since I talked to you last, I've acquired a considerable amount of new equipment, including guitars and stuff. But yeah, it's been a long time since I talked to you, KK. But anyway, tomorrow I'm going to do a ride on the recumbent. Dave, I'm sorry I didn't see you. Fist pump. Sorry, the text is too small. Can I make it bigger? I've got to turn this to all messages. Maybe if I do this, I just make the, you know what? The old, you know, the text on the iPhone, you know, the text increase or the text size doesn't affect the comments on the video. Oh, that's terrible. But Dave, I'm sorry I missed you. Good grief, yeah. I see. Okay. Wow, everything's fuzzy. Anyway, Mike's in here. Rob's in here. We're talking about the Scorpion he has. I know work calls. I know you're really busy. I know what you do. Nobody else does. But yeah, you're doing the Lord's work. Take care. We got to catch up. Maybe we can chat offline sometime. All right. I'll catch you online sometime. A lady's trying to go into the Simple Mart and they've been closed for like 30 minutes. Typing on big screen, yep. Watch big screen, time. That's the way to do it. That's what I do too. And I found out, actually I was talking to Dave because I shot this video of the moon, right? I used a 6.2K open gate on the Fuji, you know, just a raw sensor. And I exported a 4K video and uploaded it to YouTube. It's because I found out that television watching on YouTube has now surpassed mobile phones. So more people are watching YouTube on 4K TVs, or maybe even higher resolution, but at least 4K. Well, I'm going to say no to the belts, but yes to the trikes. Belts just don't have the mechanical transfer that chains do. It's whether they use chains, you know. Even like motorcycles with shaft drives, you know, I mean, you have to compensate for the fact that there's something about a chain and cogs. But I've had my trike since 2008. I mean, I've done almost zero maintenance on the chain, really. I mean, when I took it to the shop, they took it off because they had to run it through new tubes and stuff. But they just cleaned it and re-lubed it, and it was nice. I don't really have a problem with chains. And on my trike, all the chains are encased in tubes, so you can't, just like rub up against your leg or something. And believe me, that's a long chain from the front chain ring all the way under the seat, back down to the rear derailleur, and back. But yeah. Thing is, it's one of those things that never caught on. And like a lot of things, because it didn't catch on like it should have, and there's numerous reasons why. I mean, they are big. They take up a lot of room. And if you want to put them in your car, they either have to fold down, or your car has to have seats that fold down, or you have to have a van. And I had a van, and it fit in great. And the Skoda, fortunately, if I fold the seat down on my trike, it'll just barely squeak in with the back seats down. But it never caught on to the point when it's in production at such great numbers that the price went down. But I mean, people pay. In Taiwan, I go to the Giant store, There's people paying $1,200, $1,500 for a road bike, and you can get a recumbent for that in Taiwan. So, but I mean, if you're only going to buy a $200 or $300 bike just to tool around in, or even a cheap mountain bike just to ride around, yeah, it wouldn't make sense. But this thing's a serious road machine. It's no good off-road, but boy, on-road, especially downhill. It's funny because I used to ride with some diamond frame guys, and they always would laugh at me, You can't climb hills in that, they used to tell me, right? And so I would tell them, well, you can't climb hills either. They go, watch. I go, wait a minute, hold on. Sit. All right, now we should be back on. I do not know what happened. Well, yeah, I don't know what happened. Weird. Yeah, I guess we're back on. But the front screen went off, and I don't know why, but let me see if I can. No, not that. Hang on. Never. I'll just put this so the screen never goes off. Okay, crazy. So, I was talking about the last thing I think you guys heard was talking about hill climbing. And sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so with the hill climbing, right, these guys are standing up using their body weight. I remember one guy said, I'm a hill destroyer. I go, no, you're not. I'm the hill destroyer because I'm sitting with my legs going this way and not standing up. So, but when I crest to the top of the hill, nobody can catch me, and that's the end of that. I remember a couple of dogs tried to chase me. Even on the flat, over here one day, I rounded the corner, and some stupid dog comes out of his, master's house, and I just dropped it down, poured on the speed, and he couldn't even catch me. I'm so satisfying to look in my rearview mirror and see a dog break off a chase because he couldn't catch me on my trike. Wow. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys. But the truth is, it's a great machine. But Too expensive for the masses. Have to be a serious rider. When I bought mine in 2008, I remember it cost $1,600 US. And I thought, wow, it's an absolute steal. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're back up. I don't know why it went off, but if you hadn't said that, Mike, I wouldn't have known. So what it was is I let the screen go dark to save battery, but now I have it set so it's not going to turn off. Then I can see the status. All right, but with the technology and stuff, I mean, I took my trike to a bike shop, and he was like, "Wow, what's this?" But as soon as he looked at it, he goes, "Okay, this has got a derailleur on it, it's got shifters on it." And it's like, "Yeah, I can figure this out." And so I haven't been to this bike shop in a long time. I have the guy's Line. You know, Line is a messaging app we have, and it's from Japan, but it's used all over Asia and other places. And I sent him a Line message saying, "I'm bringing my trike in to get fixed." And I brought it in on Monday, and on Friday he called me it was done. But yeah, he was able to figure it out. It's pretty straightforward. But like I said, $1,600, and I wasn't about to just like throw it away. I'm going to be honest about one thing. We used to have a huge stray dog population problem here. I remember I bought a bike in Thailand because I was spending a lot of time. I was spending probably half my time in Thailand, almost every year. Up in Khon Kaen, in Mung Pon, there's a resort that my friend Mr. Banchob has, and I would stay there. You know, it's great little village. So I went to the local bike shop and bought a Merida, which is interesting because I have a blue Giant. I have a blue Merida there, and I was riding that thing around, and I remember, I rounded the corner and like 16 dogs came running out. It's like, what are you doing? These are stray dogs. You don't, this isn't your home. I'm not invading anything. It was just so annoying. And they're nipping at you, and you stop. You got to stop, and they lose interest, and they walk away. And you got to walk the bike. It's just so stinking annoying and unnecessary, right? So I prefer to ride like on the highway areas because I have to deal with that. And for a while, like around 2010, it was starting to get bad. But then I got my trike, you know, in 2006. Like 2 days after I got it, I ran down this way, and 4 dogs came out to chase me. And I whacked 2 of them on the head with my flag, and they ran away. Cabernet Sauvignon, not bad. But by, what did I say, 2010? Yeah, it was like 2010. It was starting to get really, really bad. And it's like I couldn't ride anywhere. I ride down the road, mind my own business, and some idiot dog, you know, what are you gonna do? Nobody owns them. They got nothing better to do. They're bored. That's a human problem. Humans are created that problem. So I quit riding for quite a while because it was getting to where, even like down the beach. I remember one day I was at the beach, minding my own business, riding around, and 2 dogs came out and tried to attack me. This came out of nowhere. And a Taiwan guy on a scooter saw what happened, and he drove his scooter over there and chased those dogs all the way down the street. I never saw anything like that. It's like, wow. Thanks, I appreciate it. Because I wouldn't do anything. So riding around here today, didn't see a single one. And I haven't seen any strays in a long time. So they've really cleaned it up. They have implemented some strategies, and it seems to be working. But this is a place, this industrial park, where people dump dogs. And on more than one occasion, I remember these poor dogs, you know, it's not their fault, right? I know I'm talking like it is. It's not. I remember one time my wife and I saw this car pull up right over here, get out, and we actually saw a foot in the back seat, you know, come out the rear door and kick two dogs out into the street. And one was light colored and one was dark colored. And they didn't know what to do. The car drove off. I was in a car with my wife, and I said, catch those people. And we chased them, and then they realized we were chasing them, and they started doing all kinds of crazy, illegal maneuvers to get away with. They knew they were wrong, right? I was going to ask them to come back and go take those dogs, but anyway, all the cops just came by, and two scooter cops just came by. Anyway, so we went back home, and there's a parking lot, you know, right where the dogs are dropped off. And those dogs didn't budge from that parking lot. I mean, they didn't know what to do. There's nobody to feed them and stuff. And so sometimes one would sit there and the other would disappear. And then he would come back. And then the other one would go away. They were kind of just doing reconnaissance, you know, and they were just like living in this parking lot until one day they just never came back. Never know what happens. But I have seen more than one dog get dumped off in an industrial park. And what happens is, it's been a big problem, and many people have written about it too. Michael's Hurt in particular, there's a lot of puppy farms, you know. And they get a dog as a puppy, they go, wow, it's really cute. Oh, it's nice and sweet, and then it grows up, and they don't want it anymore because it's not cute anymore. Ham takes big responsibility. So yeah. Fortunately, government programs cracking down on puppy mills. A lot of them were, you know, sold at the night markets. See a lot of that in the night markets. But that's going away. And so now the streets are actually clear. There's only one other place way up here. It's traditionally been kind of a dog colony that I've known about for, gosh, almost 20 years. But not so many down there now, you know. And there is a shelter. Third floor apartment at the end of a long hallway to the elevator and through another door into the parking garage. There's a door opener. Yep, into civilization. Okay. I was just trying to figure out, you know, Dave, Feifei, Mike, everybody's a moderator, but Rob and I don't, how do you make moderators now? Wow. It used to be you clicked on their name and their moderator, but not anymore. I don't know how to do that. Wow, that's strange. Because, you know, it's like, I kind of believe in like the first lieutenant theory. Everybody that can possibly be promoted to first lieutenant gets promoted. because it's better for the service. But yeah. So the thing is, I got that horn, and sometimes they want to play. Some dogs want to play, but they can get a little nippy too. They can come up. I mean, they're growling but their tail's wagging. You know, they don't really mean any harm, but they don't know what I am because they're used to bicycles, they're used to motorcycles, but a trike is so weird looking. So sometimes I'm on the trike and they're confused. They're like, "What is this?" And they'll almost like a shark taking a test bite. But the horn a lot of times will kind of reorient them a little bit because it's a pretty sharp sound, and that's what I got it for. I got it for just startling dogs that have too much of an interest, you know, just to kind of like break their concentration. Just, you know, hey, for a second with sound, and also for cars that do stupid stuff. Because one time I was on an actual bike trail, and I was riding, gosh, down by the Tochen River, separating Jubei from Hsinchu City, and there's a whole embankment there, and I was riding on the trail, and some truck had, you know, like this little blue truck, like a personal truck, had pulled across the bike trail and was parked, and he was backing up just as I was, you know, and I actually had to, like, I was honking my horn, I beep, 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 and he was ignoring me. And I stopped, but it was too late. And I actually beat, you know, boom, 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 on the tailgate of his truck, and you realize what's going on. It's like, what's going on is you didn't look. So that's what I got that for. Now tomorrow I'm going to be over, if you look on my channel at the videos, not the live stream, but the videos, I have a video about walking the Jinshi trails, and I also have another one droning it. Now, on that day, I didn't actually walk so much. I did walk, but I didn't show it. And you can see how overweight I've gotten over the years, just sitting on a stool in the studio doing music. But I'm going over there tomorrow because it's a really nice area, and it should look interesting on camera. Can't say on film, but it should look interesting on video. And hopefully I can cut together, I don't know. Rob was saying, because he's really interested in this area, you could watch that for hours. I don't know how many hours people can watch this for, though, but do you have a set of like training rollers? Because the TW Bents, when I bought my trike, they actually gave me a set of training rollers, you know, like you would use for a diamond frame. So basically, I can put the rear wheels, the rear wheel on this roller, and I can just sit with my hand, you know, on the brakes on the front tires, and just, you know, exercise that way. It's not as fun. But it is a way to make it into an exercise bike. So I told Kevin Gao that's what I was planning on doing, and he gave me the set of rollers. Pretty amazing. But yeah, I don't know how much time. Of course, you can always, you know, with YouTube Premium, if you just touch the screen and hold it, it automatically speeds it up ×2, and you know, if you use things like YouTube Enhancer, you can change the speed. But I don't know how long people would be willing to look at, you know, a video of me riding. But I'm going to try not to talk too much and maybe do a voiceover instead, you know, in the studio, so they're not listening to me talking. Because usually I'm clearing my throat, or I'm snorting because I have sinus problems. You guys know. I get out there in the heat, and yeah, it gets to be a problem. Wow, you guys wouldn't believe that. I gotta show you this. Hold on. Look at this thing. Wow. And yeah, I think it's the okay. Well, there you go. I'll show you this. Hold on. Yeah, at least we're still on. I get to see what it looks like. That's not bad. I think I'm on the actual, like, super wide. Yeah, I think this is the super wide point of view. It's pretty wide. Yeah, not bad. I'll tell you what, you can't complain about the video quality, though. The DJI products are pretty amazing, so yeah. All right, guys, listen, I gotta go. That's 107. Thanks so much, Dave. I know you passed out. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Rob. Faye, good to see you. Love all you guys. We missed Ken Rod and some others, but that's okay. Catch everybody another time. I hope I can get back into kind of a regular live stream. But I want to tell everybody today I quit Reddit. I deleted all my posts. I deleted like 2,000 comments, and I deleted my account because I'm sick and tired of it. There is no replacement for being in real nature. But yeah, I was just wasting too much time on negative people, and people basically on Reddit come out of the chute like insulting, you know, it's amazing. And there's so many lost people, you know, and I'm not lost, and I don't want to associate with lost people. So what made me quit Reddit is the war on men, for one thing. The war on men. You guys remember I was doing a live stream right over there on RPen almost exactly 4 years ago, and I had over 400,000 people watching me live, and some woke feminist moderator decided she didn't like what I was saying. And here's the thing, you don't even have to like violate any principles. It's like this vague thing called community standards, and it's whatever they want, you know. So you know, you make a comment about things, it's women, it's feminist women, and we have to be real here, because how a lot of these comments that men make are framed, it's framed according to how attractive they think you are. If you're a hot guy, you can say anything you want, and if you're an old guy like me, you can't say anything. You know? It is shocking. And I gotta tell you, it's gonna be dead if they don't stop it, because it is so woke. And I mean, and there are a lot of people on it that have nothing better to do than attack others. Just, I don't know why. Because, you know, there are people like Michael Caine said in The Dark Knight, some men just want to see the world burn, and that's what a lot of them are like. These guys in that little blue truck, they just keep circling around, right? And I mean, I was making replies. You know, I would be having a discussion, and I would reply to somebody like, I don't see a need to be personally insulting to you. And I'm going to say this, that's kind of an American thing, and I didn't realize it until I moved overseas. Now, I spent a third of my life outside the United States now, and if I go back to the U.S. or I deal with people from the U.S., it's always amazed me how directly, hey, how's it going, bro? Hey, it is a long time. I'm good. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. It's J-Boy. You know, I don't know why, but I was like that too. A lot of Americans are just insulting the way they talk to you, you know? What are you must be, you know, like, you must be stupid if you think that. But you know, I doubt very seriously that you would say that to my face, because I'd be able to refute it. And I'd be able to refute it, you know, and probably put the fear of God in you at the same time. It's like, what do you, you know, and the keyboard warriors and stuff. And I would tell people, I don't see a need to be personally insulting. And then there's always guys that, hey, the cops just busted 2 girls on a scooter. There's always guys that try to speak for everybody else, you know. And what was it? I just saw something just the other day that was ridiculous. Some guy was saying that if you believe this, you just outed yourself as a porn watcher or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I just replied, I said, well, thanks for speaking for me, man. I said, I'm not a porn watcher. It's like, what's going on? It's just, I was wasting so much time, and it's so negative, you know? Yeah, but you know, they won't do it. The U.S. is so huge. You can travel your whole life and not see very much of it. You know, it's a big place. India's a big country too, and you know that. You know, you probably have friends that haven't been outside their province, right? Because it's huge. But I can usually tell new expats when they arrive in Taiwan for 2 reasons. If they're from the States, they have to learn how to be more polite. And the second thing is they have to readjust their taste buds, which is funny because usually they'll say, I'm going to cook something, and they cook it, it tastes bland because they're not using any spices. I had a customer come here. I had a customer from the United States. He lived in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to name any names or anything, but he came here. And I took him to Hong Kong and over to China to a factory because we're working on a product of his. And a friend of mine's factory, a Taiwan guy that I know owns a factory in China, right? And we took him over here to a Thai restaurant. And the first thing he said, wow, I never had a dish like this that had big old pieces of garlic in it. And I was like, wow, I understand, but I feel sorry, so. Reddit has a history that its origin when the founder ended up killing himself due to being bullied. I'm going to have to look that up. But, you know, the thing is, there's a lot of good information. And so I'm not going to participate anymore. I mean, if I do a search, you know, like an answer, like some technical thing, there's usually some Redditor person that's figured it out. And I'll go in Reddit and I'll look at it, but I'm not getting involved anymore. I was spending hours, I can't even tell you, hours a day. And they keep throwing stuff at you. They keep throwing, you know, because you visited this community, we'll show you this. And I'm like, oh, wow, there's a whole new pile of interesting drama and conflict in this subreddit. Oh my gosh, what is this? And it's like, and you make one wrong comment. And here's the problem. You make one wrong comment and that's it. Like I made a comment and I got, you know, instantly banned. And then they go, the moderators invited you to chat. Chat about what? I ignored it. There's not going to be a chat. There's not going to be a discussion. You're going to just berate me about how you disagreed with what I said. You're going to call me a creep and you're going to accuse me of all this stuff that I didn't do. So that is a classic hallmark, basically, of leftist ideology that exists. I mean, it's been that way forever, right? Yep. I hate that thing about Reddit too, is that there's no redemption. Now, the other day somebody was in the malicious compliance, and I did like that, malicious compliance subreddit, and they talked about something that they did, and it wasn't actually malicious compliance. It was not cool what they did. And so the Redditors told this person that, and I was surprised how polite they were. They were direct and they said, no, you shouldn't have done it that way because it makes it difficult for other people. And that person changed their mind and they edited the original post to put at the end that they have changed their viewpoint based on the feedback they got. And a lot of the Redditors were saying, you know, kudos to you, more people should be like that, and or we should encourage people who do that, or we should, you know, so basically not just cut everybody down is what they're saying. But yeah, I mean, well, I don't know, I don't want to get into it, but Dave Chappelle has some very, very interesting observations about certain groups that you can't offend. I mean, you can take a gun and shoot somebody, but you better not offend certain groups. You better not hurt their feelings. It's just how it is. So there is kind of a war on men. At the same time, women are wondering why men don't approach. Have I given up on Twitch? I never actually embraced Twitch that much. I mean, I tried it, and I told the late night group I wanted to stream there, and I used the live streaming app, and technologically, it's very good. But again, you kind of get buried. So yeah, I'm gonna just basically, you don't need to even have an account to read it. You can just, because like if you do a search on something, like, you know, like on this camera, for example, I want to know setting up this camera. Some Redditors posted how to do it, and so it'll just bring you to the site, you know, the website, and you don't need to use the app, and you don't need to log in or anything just to read it. So that's the thing. But Twitch, you know, I was on Twitch for a while, but I realized, you know, didn't belong there, didn't fit in there. And that's happened a lot. Like, I was on Kick, you know, and Ken Rod was telling me that he was concerned because, you know, of association, being associated. And I said, nah, I understand, but I mean, you're not doing anything like that. But, you know, after a while, I mean, I did not disagree with him to begin with, but after a while I realized, you know what, I'm not. I mean, you'll just talk to someone like, it's really funny, on Kick, I said, I was I just was looking at a live stream, and there was, it was a young lady, and she was outside, and they were some pretty decent people in this chat talking with her, right? And I thought to myself, I said, wow, this is good. Yeah, this is like Periscope, where you can meet somebody interesting. It's not just about the person, it's about the other people, you know, that are in the chat too, right? And I don't, what was it? It was, I don't know, I usually don't click on the females, but there was something, I don't know, just like, she was in some beautiful place or something I was interested in. And yeah, it turns out she's OnlyFans. That's why she's doing it, to just promote OnlyFans. It's like, okay, next. What can you do? I have an OnlyFans too, but I don't tell anybody about it. But I got a whole basket of ironing that I got to do for OnlyFans. And when I get done with that, I'm gonna mop all the floors. After I do the ironing, it's a huge basket of iron. It's gonna take me 45 minutes to an hour. And then I'm gonna mop the floors. So I'm gonna take a break. Yep. I'm gonna shave on OnlyFans. Yep. I'm gonna drag that razor across my face. Yeah. And then I'm gonna clean all the toilets in my whole house. And that's just this week. So that's what I got going on OnlyFans. This is great. I think I showed you guys this before. This is a little tripod that's a battery bank. There's a 1/4 thread on the top, so you can use it to hold, you know, whatever you want. But it's got a USB-C and a USB-A, and it's like a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and it ends up being like a really nice grip. You could like use this on a camera for like vlogging, and have battery backup. So yeah, that is such an old phrase, Dave. I'd buy that for $1. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was cool. So it was amazing. Government bullied him. Oh, okay. Wow. That's too bad. I can't imagine being bullied so much that it would make me want to take my own life, but I wanted to take my own life before because of other things, but not because of bullying. So it just occurred to me, this is totally random, but I wanted to ask you guys, what does the color science look like on this camera? Does it look like the Pocket 3? You've seen me live streaming for the last 2 years on the Pocket 3. Does it look like the Pocket 3? I'm getting ready to do another Behringer World update, and when I do it, I'm going to use this camera and the Pocket 3 and go back and forth between them, and maybe the Fuji too. Wow, Aaron Swartz, wow. YouTube was founded by a conglomeration, just a bunch of guys, and one of them apparently was Taiwanese, which is pretty cool. It's kind of our only fame. It does, okay, great. And it's, so I'm, according to the Mimo app, I'm doing 720p. Now let me do this. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to walk for a second. I'm going to take the phone with me so I don't lose anything. Let's go action camera style. I just want to walk a little bit. I want to see how good the stave is while I'm live streaming. Now there's the highlight. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. The highlight changed the color. See that? It's kind of a green. I like it. And it's pink below. It was all red, but it's a green now, and that's 7 over there, of course. I got across the street. Simple Mart here, and that's Win-Win's Place, where I used to live stream years ago. And of course, this is Jarjar. We look up here, we see the Jarjar store. So, so the hat. You mean this guy? Well, you won't believe this, but I'll show you. Let me do this. Hang on. Let me set this phone down because I need 2 hands. Okay, here's what's going on. Because, I mean, I went to Japan for almost 3 weeks and it was burning hot, and then I came back to Taiwan, but I want to show you the difference. This is that side of the hat, and that's this side. This is the actual color of the hat. It's been burned from the sun. Look at that. This is, okay. So, but yeah. This is the Poet fedora, aka the Indiana Jones hat. But anyway, I'm holding this Ulanzi tripod, kind of like a glide cam, to try to minimize the action or the motion. But it looks to me like it's pretty good stave, and it's not even got a gimbal on it. It's just a, it's just the stabilization on it, so not bad. Interesting. Plasma, using a plasma TV. Wow. I haven't seen those for a long time. Didn't know they actually made those still. Must be kind of old, huh? So, beautiful like I am. Thanks, Mike. I try, but my wife says people take advantage of me because I'm ugly. What can I say? This is not the hat I had in Paris. The hat I had in Paris has a little bit wider crown, and the brim is not quite as wide. So it's wider in the top and shorter here. I have it at the house, and the irony is that hat has not faded. And when I got this hat came from England. When I got this hat, it was almost the same color as the other one. And it has actually, I mean, Dave saw it in person. It's got a lot of personality on it now, but it's actually hasn't faded like uniformly. So it's kind of, I don't know. I'm starting to like it more because I think it has a lot of character to it, you know. Some guys like the Steele and Jones company in Argentina, these guys are making replicas, you know, of the Indiana Jones hats, and they're beating them up pretty bad. They got, you know, dust and dirt and things. I don't know what they do. I don't know, they probably drag it behind the truck or something on a dirt road, who knows. But I'm glad to be streaming too, thank you. Sorry, when I have stuff in my throat, I gotta clear it. Well, Dave, we're keeping you up so late, man. It is like, it's 2:27 in Japan. It's almost 2:30 in Japan. I actually feel bad, wow. But now I said I was gonna go a while ago, but you guys keep me here. It's okay, I'm good. I just thought we were getting boring, that's all. So, Late Night with MJ Klein is brought to you by Kirin Ichiban. Ichiban means number one. Is that what it says? I think that's what it says. Could be, no, it says new in Chinese. So is that what it says? No, it's not what that says. I can't read Japanese stylized Chinese. Oh, alcohol 5%, I can read that. Sorry. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. So you're working now, right, in the background? So, yeah, you must have a lot of schoolwork to do, school-related work to do, and watching on the big TV. Excellent. So you won't have me to kick around on Reddit anymore, guys. Gosh, I was spending so much time on there. And the thing is, right, I was mad at myself for spending so much time on YouTube. I was like, okay, I gotta quit. Got to quit spending so much time on YouTube. So I started spending time on Reddit. So thanks. I appreciate it, J-Boy. Good to see you too, bro. Listen, man, I got to do something. I got to get serious about importing Old Monk. I got to do it somehow. I got an import license. I just need to go do it. So J-Boy, hit me up, man, because we could do some business, bro. You know, it's J-Boy, do you happen to know, I just want to do this comparison. Do you happen to, because Shaman told me how many rupees Old Monk actually cost, you know, and it's a ridiculously low amount of money. But yeah, well, on Reddit, before I quit, somebody was asking about whether they should go to Kyoto or Taipei. They said, I heard Taipei is really hot. And I said, yeah, it is super hot. But I was in Kyoto last month, and it was hotter than Taipei. So just, you know, go where you want to go and do what you want to do. Every place has air conditioning. But yeah, so. But J-Boy, when I was in New York State near Niagara, it's all Indian now, right? And I walked into this liquor store. I was like, wow, there's Sikhs here, man. And I looked on the bottom of the shelf and I said, okay, there you go. Old Monk. And one bottle was $22. I bought 2 bottles, $44 I spent. But Shaman told me that in India, Old Monk is something like $4 or $5. Yeah, okay, that's true. And I know if you get the one that, you know, Supreme, that's shaped like a monk, but let's just say the one that looks like Old Par, you know, the big fat square one, it's 700 milliliters, 7 years. Gosh, I had a bottle, because here's the thing, it says not for export, because people buy it and they ship it. But it had the price in rupees, and I forget. But there's an Indian lady that I know. Yeah, apparently they can. But they're good guys, and they help the community, and they're good neighbors, and they're good people. And the truth is, I never seen a Sikh drunk. Maybe they get drunk, but I never seen one drunk. They seem to be pretty, pretty moderate. They seem to be pretty cool dudes as far as I can tell. But yeah, but people say that about me too, because one side of me is German, the other side is Irish. So, but what a shaman was saying, it was, I can't remember the price, but yeah. So here's the thing, bro. You can buy a couple cases and mark them up, like a lot, and send them to me and I'll buy them. That'd be good. But there's an Indian woman that I know, and she was saying, she saw I had some old monk. She goes, "Oh, you got old monk?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I see that in India, but the guys are all crazy about it." I go, "Yeah, it's really good." She goes, "Is it really?" I said, "Have a seat." And I poured her, this is in my living room. I went and got one of my special glasses, and I poured her some old monk, over ice with a shot, a little splash of Shrey, which is Sprite. Because Sprite's like a candy anyway. And it ended up, it's like butterscotch. And so I said, "Here you go." And she took a sip and she goes, "That's why all these Indian guys are crazy about old monk." I go, "Bingo," because it's good. I mean, you gotta figure, a billion people can't be wrong, right? But gosh, Shama was telling me, I want to say it was $7 or something, or less per bottle. It's like, holy cow. But I paid 22. And here's a funny thing, right? I was with my one sister in Greensboro, my other sister and her husband, and they just weren't interested in it. I mean, I poured some, they're like, "Yeah, it's good." I'm like, I'm looking at them inside, I'm going, "What's wrong with you?" Like, to each his own, right? Okay, more for me. My wife used to drink it. But my wife used to drink a lot. But in her older age, she's not drinking like she used to. But my wife and I used to go, when we were in Thailand, we would go to, we'd be in Khon Kaen. And we would sit at the #1 bar, the Farang bar, right? You are so right. They don't need to advertise. And that has been actually said so many times by, if you read about it around the world, they're like, they never advertise, they don't have to. They've been around since I think just post-war, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They've been around for a long time. Wow. Oh, you're not gonna believe this. Look at this, look at this. I threw down a Cheeto, look at this. That's a roach. Oh, sorry. That's a roach. He was walking away with my Cheeto. Look at that. I thought it was on the Pocket 3. This is amazing footage, guys. This is amazing footage. He was actually moving with it. See? He stopped when he saw me, but look at this. I'm going to go right down to him. Hang on a second. I'm going to go right down to him. He's eating that, man. He was walking away with it. He was walking really fast with it. And I noticed him and he stopped. I don't know. They're kind of uncanny like that. But look at that, man. That roach is like going nuts on that Cheeto. Look at that. Wow. Can you see that? Anyway. I thought it was on the Pocket 3 for a second. Sorry about that. Oh well. I wonder how that looks on the big screen. Excuse me. Oh well, what can I tell you? I have never seen I've seen ants carry stuff, right? He better be, because I got a city foot. I got something for your roach hiney. But yeah, I've seen ants, you know, and do the whole line. Like when I was at the bunkers on Thursday, right, and I did that live stream, it was very hard to watch because of the network. I ate some fried chicken and I put the bones in a bag, and the next morning I woke up, there were like 20,000 ants in the bag, and they had eaten a hole in the plastic bag, and they were going in and out. It's amazing. But that's the first time I actually saw a roach pick something up. He's moving it now. I'm telling you, he was crawling with this thing, you know, and I looked over there. It's like amazing. I feel like the best person to get drunk with an old monk would be Mr. Klein. Except Mr. Klein won't get drunk. But if you want to, I'll watch you. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I'd love to clink a couple glasses with you, Mike. That'd be fantastic. And maybe that can happen. Here's the thing. My sister has asked me if I can go back to the States for a while, because she has some technical things. Of course, you know, her husband has passed, and he ordinarily would handle these things. But it's a matter of like, number one, you got to have somebody you trust. And number two, you got to have somebody that can figure this out. My sister has a, I'm just so used to saying my wife. My sister has a home theater system, and it's very complicated. I sussed a lot of it out when I was there last time. I did a lot of wire tracing and figuring things out right. So I think I understand it, but she needs to reconfigure a couple of things, and she's got some other stuff. Like, it was like, she wanted to get a new door lock between the kitchen and the garage. And she went to the Home Depot, which is the B&Q of the United States. And got one of those numerical locks, and she asked me, could I put it in? Of course I put it in 20 minutes. But yeah, I like doing that kind of stuff. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move it like this. I'm going to go selfie stick mode, and I'm going to give you the roach cam, because this is like amazing stuff. He's not even moving. We've got the roach cam here. I'm actually monitoring this to see what it looks like. I had to extend the stick. So now he's got, all right, we're back. We're back. Yeah, we're back up now. The roach must have killed it. Who knows? I don't know, but that was some wildlife stuff. So, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Your sound. He said, person who never experienced better band on vinyl on speakers. Yeah, I know what you mean, Mike. But there's this whole audiophile thing, and I spent decades in recording studios, and I've been like in a $20 million studio, and like I had the privilege of working in John Stork's first live and dead end design. That's Lou Balanase's studio in Long Island, right? Where across the entire length of the console, the stereo image moved. It's uncanny. You'd be on the left side of the console, it was completely balanced. In the middle, it was balanced. On the far right, it was balanced. Amazing. A TEF room. And, 2-inch tape, analog. We mixed down to 1/2-inch tape, stereo, 30 inches per second. I mean, that beats the crap out of vinyl any day. But what you're hearing is analog distortion that's plain, pleasing to the ear. But when I listen to turntables, it's the rumble, it's the pops, it's the clicks that I can't stand. But like tape, bring it on. Because we used to mix to DAT back in the day, you know, in the early 90s. And Vlado Muller in CBS, at Sony Music Labs, he told us don't do that because it's only, you know, 16 bit and 44.1 kilohertz. He said mix on half inch, you know, half inch, 30 inches per second and no noise reduction. And that would be a better medium, you know, for a master. But yeah, I think I told you a long time ago, this would have been about 1982. A friend of mine, where I was working at the time and playing on the weekends in a band and building a studio. That's why I got this job. And this guy was a tech, and he was really, I mean, he had a really good set of ears, and he could hear very well. And oh no, we got a second roach who's now approached a second. Oh my gosh, here's another roach here. And he saw my foot move and he scooted. We have another roach on another piece, on another, oh my gosh, another Cheeto. See that, guys? Wow, this is amazing. I didn't know this. This is like a roach rodeo. So anyway, this guy's name is Richard. And Richard had me over to his house. He said, I want you to hear something. I'm okay, because he knew I was a recording artist. So he plays me Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin, vinyl. Drops the needle. It's amazing, right? And he says, I want you to hear the CD, okay? He plays the CD, same speakers, same amplifier, you know, just a different input source, right? There's no bottom end. There's no nothing. It's just crazy. Oh, this guy's moving. Look at this. Look at this. He's moving. Look at this. I've never seen this before. I've never seen a roach move something like that before in my whole life. Hope you can see this. Wow. I've never seen a roach pick something up and move that. This, ladies and gentlemen, this may be the first time this has ever been documented. So anyway, he's like, what's going on? I go, well, I mean, they remastered it, obviously, you know, for compact disc. He said, yeah, but it's all the fidelity's gone. So you have to understand this guy. He called England. He looked up the studio on the compact disc where it was mastered, and he called England and asked to talk to the chief engineer. And the chief engineer said, well, I'm personally not familiar with that particular album. So Richard asked him, when could I call you back? You know, I want to give you time. Do you have time? You know, can you check this out? And the engineer agreed, and he said, call me back on this day, right? The roach needs its own channel. It does. I got to tell you something. I am resisting the urge to stomp these things into oblivion, but it's just because they made such an effort, you know, to stay alive. And so he called the engineer, and so I wasn't there. So I went over to his house. He said, I called the engineer. And I said, yeah. So what did he say? He says, you're right. There's no bass. And they're like, what do we say in Chinese? Like, what do we do? It's like, there's nothing we could do. That's how the record company wanted it, and they released it like that. But he admitted it that I've never seen it like that. He fully admitted that the compact disc version of this classic record had no bottom end on it to speak of, and the vinyl version sounded better. But I know people say vinyl sounds better, but what it is they just miss the analog distortion, which is why in the 80s, once we got the RL Exciter Type B, not one single mix left my studio that wasn't processed through the Aphex RL Exciter. And I'll let you in on a little secret. The mix bus on my console has a Barkus Berry exciter on it, and every mix I do has a Barkus Berry on it too. Yes, they do. And insulin affects them too, because if you have high insulin, then it causes tinnitus. When I was in the U.S., I saw, believe it or not, a system called Whoosh, W-U-S-H. I think that's kind of a weird, because maybe somebody might say it's wuss, but it's whoosh, like W-O-O-S-H, right? And it's an ear cleaning system. And so I also bought some ear drops for melting earwax, because, you know, I don't know why, but I have a pretty high buildup of earwax, and I think it has to do with the amount of sound pressure that I'm exposed to, because it happened to me like that in the United States too. And that may sound like a strange statement, but there were times when I didn't have high sound pressure levels and my wax production wasn't that high. It's been explained to me that sometimes the wax is produced to try to protect the hearing, you know, but with attenuation. But I put a couple drops in. It's 10 drops, you know, in an earplug in, and then 10 minutes later I'll put 10 drops in the other ear, and they're supposed to come out after 10 minutes. So I do the 10 minutes I wait 10 minutes, put the other ones in, so then I'm working on this ear. And I use this Whoosh thing, right? And I'll use a combination of filtered water, boiled water, you know, and to try to get the temperature right, because I have a Amway filter. It's just really, really good. And invariably, I will run like 15, 20 tanks. This is going, and it's a tip, and it has a treble stream, and the stream is like this, so it's not aimed at the eardrum. And there are 3 different levels of strength. It's always start out with the low, then I'll go medium and high. And usually after about 10 minutes, about when it's about ready to, you know, to wash the second ear, I will get a massive plug of wax that comes out. It never ceases to amaze me. And all of a sudden I'm like, wow, I can hear so much better. But what it really is the frog, you know, in the boiling water, because it gradually sneaks up on you. But right now, when I stop and think about it, I can hear that my hearing is attenuated. And when I go upstairs in my studio, I'm listening to stuff, I'm like, it doesn't sound as clear as it should. And it's time to do it. So I have to actually rinse my ears out about every 60 days. And I use the ear drops to soften the wax, and I use an irrigation tool. Now, I have heard that there's a water pick device, or a water pick. I won't use the water pick because it's too strong. But what I do use the water pick for is nasal rinses. There is a plug, you know, a plug-in tip that fits the nose, and you turn it all the way down, the pressure, and you tilt your head, and it works fantastic. And I've been using those for years, and it works great. So, let's see what's going on. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Look at this. These roaches are fighting. They're fighting over the Cheeto. See that? Yeah. Amazing. Second one came along, started eating it, and the first one grabbed it, tried to pull it away. He said, nope, it's staying right here. And this one over here is still munching away. I don't know what it is. These Taiwan roaches are energetic, but I've never seen so much activity, you know, in a roach before, where they actually like were competing so bad, you know, for that. That's crazy. Anyway, so I've been saying for the last hour I gotta go, but I'll tell you right now, before I quit this live stream, these roaches are dead. They just don't know it yet, because as soon as I press N, I'm going to kill these roaches. Oh, monkey see, monkey do. You won't believe it, but the first roach that went to the, oh, this is crazy. The first roach, that's the first roach that went to that Cheeto. The second roach came along and went to a Cheeto, to the same one. And now he went over to that one, and then this guy went over to that one and then said, no, I'm going to go back to this one. So now each one of these roaches has their own Cheeto. So I don't know what to tell you. But I guarantee you, nobody's live streaming roaches like this. So. Yeah, it is survival of the fittest, absolutely. Yeah, I know that, yeah, some medical practitioners, you know, they recommend pulling on the earlobe to open the ear canal in the shower. A lot of guys do that, and they use soap and stuff, but it doesn't work for me. My earwax is just too viscous, and it's too sticky, and it's terrible. So it looks terrible, but yeah, yucky. But anyway, yeah, I put the drops in it. I can hear it, you know. And I've used hydrogen peroxide, and I've used the, you know, like a special diluted version of it, you know. But the ear drops that I have now are specifically designed to melt earwax, and I use those that are very effective. But I got to run like 15, 20 tanks of water through it, and it finally breaks it loose. So I don't know. Maybe I need to let it sit longer without, you know. Maybe I need to let it sit longer before I rinse it. I don't know. But the drops, you know, the directions for the drops say that I have to wait 10 minutes and no longer. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to finally sign off. So you guys take care, and I'll press the button on the app. Then I got to go to the YouTube Studio, because I have it set so it doesn't cut off if I lose the stream, which is great. And you don't want it to say that we're live, you know, until tomorrow morning sometime. So, guys, take care. Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure, and I really liked hanging out with you guys tonight. So, so thank you, Mike. Thank you, J-Boy. Thanks, Dave. If you're still up, I appreciate it. I think you're right, though. The Roach needs his own channel. Wow, the Roach channel. That'd be pretty interesting. I didn't know I could catch roaches. I mean, you catch, you know, rats and mice with peanut butter. Roaches? Cheetos, man. Who knows? The yellow pack, I don't know. I guess that's it. So we'll say, Taijian, Wanan, you guys take care. And we're going to end this live stream now.